Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Conversations with the Commander. It is a great coming back. I have a fantastic guest with me. It is Lee Jennings of the Funeral Portrait. First off, Lee, congratulations on the album. It is fantastic. And again, congratulations on the tour you were just on.
Dude, thank you so much. Thank you. It's been crazy. This record, everything, it's just been wild.
Yeah.
So,
Um, Me and my friends were introduced to you at Silver Scream Con last year. Uh, Walk me through how it was getting the phone call of doing the concert for Silver Scream Con last year and how that turnout came about.
yeah. So last year, so it's kind of cool. So last year, we got new managers, and one of them is Sky George. George is one of the co-owners of Silver Scream Con, and he, sent Spencer and Spencer's manager some of our songs, and we're like,
Mhm,
hey, I just picked up this band. I think they would be great fit to open the concert. It'd be something fun. And it seems like some of the Ice Nine Kills fans already know the band, they like them, et cetera, et cetera. And it kind of worked.
mhm,
It was kind of cool. They were like, hey, like this band's cool. We've known of them forever. Um, we've kind of ran around in the same circles, stuff like that. So Spencer and his whole band have known us for a while, and they kind of were just like, they just were like, yeah, let's do this, let's have them open. And we didn't
mhm,
know that was going to then turn into us being there all weekend and getting to meet so many people and
mhm.
just hanging out and having a good time. And then that we did that the first RIP party, which was just like
Mhm.
the karaoke and stuff, and
Yeah.
we got Homer to sign up, and he was like, I'm gonna do Voodoo Doll even though I don't know the lyrics. And it was just such a fun experience. Everyone had such a good time last year doing it, and I think it just was so cool, and getting to hang out with everybody, because that's kind of part of our magic. I don't say we're a magic, but like it's like getting to meet everybody and hanging out is kind of part of why we do this and why we like to be the funeral portrait. And so having people doing the same thing is kind of cool. Like them wanting to be around us and getting to hang out is part of the magic of it.
Mhm. Yeah. Unfortunately, with like how the venue was, we got in right as your last two songs, but it was the perfect timing because we sat down as soon as the two kissed. I was like, hell yeah, this is what we're in for.
I love that. That's so funny. That's so funny.
But
Yeah, I mean, it was cool because that talking about that venue last year, they literally had like one person scanning tickets.
yeah,
They just don't do rock concerts that
yeah.
often. So it kind of just screwed everything up. But guess what? It was still fine. We still had a great time. We still,
Mhm,
got to hang out and just experience. And I don't know. It definitely is the jumping point of changing everything for us.
mhm. I will say, just hearing the two songs that we saw, it already made me a fan. And then my other friends were starting to listen to you guys as well. And like just this new album itself, I made a post about it. There is no skippable song. You know how there's like that album where it's like, this song's a little none of them are skippable. They're
Oh,
all
thank
great
you.
songs. And yeah, I was happy to see you guys come back again this year. What was there talks of you guys possibly doing the concert again
Yes, so
or
we were supposed to do the concert. There's actually a flyer that I have in my phone that have us listed on
yeah.
as the concert. And the reason why is we had this tour, the Five Finger Manson tour, already
Mhm,
booked. It was, we were basically, I think it was like a day before we were about to leave for the tour.
mhm,
Spencer's team reached out and was like, hey, we would love to have the funeral portrait open up the concert, and
mhm.
if they can make it happen. And we tried everything we could to figure
Yeah.
out how to fly our gear to get us there, something we needed to figure it out. And we
Mhm,
tried it all, it just didn't work. So we kind of came up with a new plan of, hey, what if the funeral portrait played acoustic, because that's easier, because we just need
yeah.
acoustic guitar and three of us, the
Mhm.
whole band doesn't need to be there, and all the gear and everything. And then Homer, we got like a cajon, that thing that he was sitting on, and that was fun, so we wanted to do something a little different, and so we made up this plan and sent it to Spencer and his team, and they were all like, "Yeah, that sounds great. That would be super fun. Let's do it."
Mhm.
And it so happened to be the day our record was releasing,
Yeah,
so it was like one thing after the next. I don't know. It was great. It was honestly like really cool.
that's awesome. And it made me so happy to see how long your guys' line was that Friday.
It was
Were
crazy.
you
It was
were you
the longest
expecting that?
line.
Were you
No,
expecting that kind of turnout?
no way, no way. It's been crazy. I mean, it's been cool to see what's happening.
Mhm,
I think the Iceland Kills fandom has really like taken us under their wing. I don't know. I think it's weird. So the Iceland Kills fandom is so unique.
mhm,
Because it has, horror movie fans, it has rock music fans, it has metal fans, it has such a unique, like, covers a lot of areas, and it's
mhm,
cool to see how welcoming everyone has been to us and so nice. And I think a lot of it has to do with us also giving everybody the time of day. Again, our signing was free. Just come
yeah,
hang out, meet us. Like, if you want to buy some merch, buy some merch, and
mhm,
buy the new record. We had it on CD there. There was a
yeah,
few other things. We had that exclusive merch items that were, it was me and Spencer on a shirt, you know what I mean? And it,
mhm,
it was cool, it was fun, and that's what um fandoms enjoy, and I love fandoms. I love people that are fans of bands or whatever it may be, and it's cool to see so many awesome people return too, because like I recognized probably more than half of the people that were in our line,
mhm,
from the con the year before,
mhm.
and it's cool that a year later we have such a long line. I mean, it was literally, oh god, that was crazy. It was like 3 hours straight of just constant signing. I
Yeah.
think actually 4 hours. It was just like boom, boom, boom. So it was cool. It was a lot
It
of fun.
it it just shows that the to me, from what I gathered, is the impact you guys had the previous year, but also the lead up to the album. Because one, it was Friday the 13th, so it's like perfect timing. And you guys are just such nice people. Um, my wife and I met you at the convention. Nice, you guys are nice as can be, and just the fact that you take the time out of your day, you could just be resting. You could literally do whatever, and you took 4, 5 hours out of your day to spend as much time with everyone as you possibly could. And to me, that's the biggest thing with getting into a lot of the newer bands is how they interact with their fandom. The way you guys interact with your fandom, it goes a long way for me. And I am happy to be a fan of you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. No, and I love that. That's very special to us. I think the people that are in what we call, the coffin crew are,
Mhm,
this is what we do. I eat, sleep, and breathe them. Really,
mhm,
I want to make them feel cared for and loved and understood. Like, I don't I don't want to take advantage of them either. I don't want to just take their money and run.
mhm,
I know a lot of bands, they so focus on like how they can make a quick buck. And for me, we could have easily, I mean, the Danny, our merch girl that was at the con at this time, she had so many people being like, "Oh, how much is it to meet them? How much is it to meet them?" We could have easily have charged $5, $10, $20,
yeah.
however much it is. Like, but we didn't. We don't want to do that, and I don't want to do
Mhm,
that. I mean, this next tour that we're about to go on, we're playing some headlining shows, and like, again, we're not doing of like a VIP or any of that stuff.
mhm,
You can meet us at the merch table. You know what I mean? Just if you want to buy some merch and you want us to sign it, or if you want whatever, sure. Like, I don't want to do that, until we have to do it, right?
yeah.
Like, then of course, there's a paywall there that has
Yeah.
to be there for a reason, and
Mhm,
this is not that. So,
mhm,
it was cool. It was super cool to get to meet. Yeah, I remember meeting you guys, and you guys were nothing but great to us. So
mhm. Uh, Now to take it back a little bit, What was your inspiration to get into music? Who were the ones to inspire you when you were younger and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's of course all the big like quote emo bands, like My Chem, Fall Out Boy, Panic, all those kind of stuff. I just grew up loving that kind of stuff. I like some of the like AFI, Avenged Sevenfold, any of the more spookier, dark stuff was like super
Mhm,
huge for me. Um, that's just Good Charlotte, even like all that kind of stuff. When I was growing up, and it just stuck with me. And all those bands had something really special, and that special thing was um being who they are, right? Like
mhm,
they were them always. They took um no prisoners on not being themselves, and that's very important to me, and it's just like us doing the tour that we just did, you know what I mean? Like we got out there and just were us every single night. We just
mhm,
did the funeral portrait. It was 20-minute set. It was short, but guess what? We got to go out there and do us,
mhm.
and that's where I want to keep this band going, is as long as it is truly just us and being us, life will be okay,
Mhm.
and the band will hopefully grow more and more, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I was watching footage from the a few of the shows, and from what I noticed is like some were like, "Oh, these guys are pretty good." I saw their heads like bobbing, and it's like it's one of those things where it's like I love that you guys were on this tour and gaining new fans this way, and
Well, yeah, and that's hard, right?
Mhm.
Like I don't remember, the last time I went to a show and I discovered a band that I've never heard of and
Yeah,
gotten into it, right? Or shown that I've gotten into it, because
mhm,
that was a little hard the first, not the first, like I guess, yeah, I guess um getting used to the crowd not knowing who we are was a
yeah,
strange thing, because normally we go on tour and the crowd knows who we are, right? We're
yeah,
playing to our fans most of the time, maybe just a handful of other bands' fans, right?
mhm,
Or other artist fans. So this was like every single day, it was gaining new fans, but seeing their reactions. And, by the end of the set, compared to the beginning of the set, as long as I could gauge what way they're going. And
mhm.
I would say we converted so many new fans. I mean, we gained so many new fans. I mean, I'm forever grateful for the opportunity. It was insane, and I'm, excited to see what comes next for touring.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys, and honestly, it's just gonna go up from here for you guys, and I'm excited to see where you guys go, and that way, for me, it would be like, I saw these guys when they were here. It's so cool to see where they're at now. Just the last tour you were on, it's like, that's huge,
Yeah.
and you guys have been doing this since 2014, right?
Oh,
And
long time.
was this was the biggest tour you were
Oh
on?
God, yes. I mean, this is one of the biggest rock tours of the year. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm,
it was crushing through ticket sales. Compared to some of the other tours that were going on at the time. And it's one of those things that I think for us, we were definitely an odd man out. And but
mhm,
I mean, all of the bands sounded completely different and were completely different, and had completely different fan bases. And it was cool
mhm,
though to see it all be mashed together and see what happened. And we were very lucky. We got this again, like the tour that we did before, it was with that TX2 artist. And I mean,
mhm.
I mean, it was like a 250 cap rooms, they were
Yeah,
sold out 250 cap rooms, but then we go to 20,000 cap arenas, and playing in front of 10 to 20,000 people a night, is
mhm,
insane,
yeah,
and that's that, was super fun. And it's just crazy to think that we even did it.
mhm. What was the coolest venue you guys played on this tour?
Ooh, Hershey was really cool because that was the first date, and that was like the biggest show. That
Mhm,
was at the Hershey Stadium, and that was like crazy. That was fun, but I think I really loved all the arenas, because arenas, it was like kind of compact, right? We
yeah,
also played Reno. It was just us in and it Five Finger wasn't on the show. It was just Manson, Slaughter, and us, and it was just packed out. People came to party. I don't know. It
Mhm.
was Reno, like people were there just to
Yeah.
have a good time, and they discovered that, like, we played a little bit longer set that night, and I don't know. I was able to really turn the crowd into fans early on, right? Like
Mhm.
normally it happens second to last song or last song. They leave being like, oh, I enjoyed that band, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go follow them or whatever. It felt like second song, third song in, they were already cooked and it was good to
Mhm.
go. Reno also had the crazy, it's like apparently the world's biggest stage. So they had like
Wow.
a literally like an airplane um in the back. It was
Huh.
wild. Like it was like a prop from an old musical or something they had there,
Yeah.
but just like insane. Like it was so wild to see Reno and Las Vegas. I mean, all of
Mhm.
them. Las Vegas was cool because it was attached to the MGM Grand. Like, I mean, it
Yeah.
was just such a cool experience.
That's awesome. I do have a couple of fan questions, so I'll sprinkle them in through our talk here. I do have one from Julie, and she wants to know what your favorite part was ghost hunting at Elois Asylum.
Yeah, no, that was so much fun. So we decided to do something a little different. In Detroit, we had an off day and we went and hung out with a bunch of fans at
Mhm.
the asylum there, like the ghost. We went ghost hunting, and it was spooky. There was this moment that like everybody was in the room, and we heard this like loud like scream or something, and
Mhm.
like it was nobody else in there. Like it
Yeah.
was it was insane. Like to think of what was like going on because like we were like touching the two little like antenna things to like make
Mhm.
noises and stuff. I don't know. It was crazy. It was like a wild moment to
Mhm.
like experience that all together.
Now, with the ghost hunting, were you already kind of a believer, or were you kind of more skeptical on?
I'm still a little bit of both. I think it's weird, right? I
Mhm.
think it was weird to like
Yeah.
experience, but was it real? Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I want to do more of it. I think it's something that we really want as a band want to do is do some
Mhm.
more stuff like that.
I would definitely say if you get the chance to go to Salem, Massachusetts, definitely do
I
stuff there.
know. So both the years at Silver Scream Con, you're kind of close. I know
Yeah.
last year we were closer than we were this year, but like I want to go so bad. We went in 2018 for like
Mhm.
an hour and just
Yeah.
like walked for a second. Like that was all we could have time for because it's
Mhm.
we were playing a show in Boston that night, so we were able to like route around to like go
Mhm.
stop for like an hour, just go look
Yeah.
around the town real fast and then leave. But I do want to plan to actually take a trip up there and go see everything.
Yeah, it's at it definitely around fall time because the vibe itself
Oh,
is
I know.
amazing. Um, my wife and I went for Halloween one year. They closed down like the streets. They make a whole event out of it. It's so much fun. Um,
That's so being a spooky band, we're always so busy around
mhm,
Halloween. So hopefully at some point we can make it happen.
yeah. Um, Now with Greetings from Suffocate City, with was there any particular song that you put on the album that you're like, I don't know if this is going to be a hit, but it turned out to be like an actual pretty big hit?
Stay weird. I think it's gotten a lot of attention. A lot of people really enjoy it. I think a lot of
Mhm.
people like it. It's been cool. I'm nervous still on it. I don't know. It was one of those songs
Mhm.
that I was like, I don't know if people are gonna dig this. Like, it might be a little too corny or whatever, but it's supposed to be. It's supposed to
Mhm.
be a little bit like fun, campy, and it's supposed to like be a love letter to younger us,
Mhm.
and to just tell our 14-year-old self, hey, keeping you like do just you'll be fine. You'll be out
Mhm.
on an arena tour when you're later on in life. And I think that's the cool part, and I'm excited to see so many people really dig that one.
Mhm. Yeah, it's actually been mine and my wife's favorite song on the album, besides "Suffocate City," because you
Yes.
got my boy Spencer on there.
Of
So,
course, of course, of course.
But my wife wanted to know what was the inspiration of writing "Stay Weird," and
Yeah. So
um,
really wanted it to be a song for our younger self, right? Like,
mhm,
so I went through a lot of like horrible bullying and a horrible like other crap just growing up. Just some really bad stuff growing up, right?
mhm,
And um, wanted to take my own life multiple times, never did. And I just always felt like I couldn't be me, right? And so getting to write a song that basically is for the younger generation or for us, for our younger selves,
mhm,
that maybe to heal things that weren't so great or whatever, just to be like, hey, just stay you, stay weird, stay just yourself, and kind of just see where it went. And it took a whole new life, and I was so excited that it kind of made the cut of the record because there's a
mhm,
lot of songs that didn't make the cut, and that was one that did. And I'm hyped. I'm really excited and happy that everybody's enjoying that one.
mhm. Yeah, it really resonates with my wife with how she grew up in Peachtree City, Georgia, and
Yep.
how she had to try and fit into what everyone else was doing. Is like when she was
Especially
growing up,
down
it was
there. Down there, there's you're kind of far enough away from Atlanta and everything,
mhm,
and it's you don't really from being from Marietta, I was at least closer to the city, so I could go to shows a lot. Or,
yeah,
here in Marietta, there was an all ages club that I worked at and stuff. And I don't know, it was just cool to see a moment that we could just. I understand where she's coming from because she lived out there where being yourself wasn't accepted.
mhm,
And that's the same thing. I know so many people like that, like Homer, our drummer. He's from a very, very small town, of 5,000 people,
mhm,
and he was the only person that listened to the music that he did,
yeah,
and or wanted to dress the way he did, and he felt like he could never be that because nobody nobody would understand, and
mhm,
that's so important. So I hope that song, I hope Stay Weird can kind of be that song for everyone.
mhm. I do have another question from I don't know their name, but their handle is Tokyo Hotel.
Okay.
And he asked two questions. He wants to know what your favorite hobby is and what is your favorite color.
Ooh, a favorite color right now because it changes. It's this green. Everything I do is this like lime green now.
Mhm,
It's just cool. It's such a cool color.
mhm,
Growing up though, it was red. Everything I loved was red. And I think
mhm.
that came from the Pokemon games. I loved
Yeah.
the red version. That was my favorite. My little cousin, who we were like best friends growing up, his was blue, of course. So
Mhm,
like. So of course, red versus blue,
yeah.
so it kind of fit that whole thing. And then what was the first? The first one was
Favorite hobby.
a favorite hobby. I just love to go do things. I love to have fun. I like to go to like Disney World. I love doing stuff like that. So anything that it has to do with the word fun, I like
Mhm,
doing. So, but I like Pokemon and stuff. I like collecting. Collecting's a fun hobby.
mhm.
I collect way too much crap. Um, so,
It's the same thing with me. I collect the Blu-ray steelbooks, and
oh,
it's ongoing, and it's my friend Dave's fault. He got me into it, so
I love that though. That's so sick.
yeah. Um, and another question I had from a fan was, "Are you guys eventually going to do funeral portrait patches and stuff
Ooh,
like that?"
yeah, we get bugged that for a lot. I think we will.
Mhm,
We're gonna do like a pretty big drop for Christmas. We just basically got a hold of. So for the longest time, we ran merch out of this studio. You can kind of
mhm.
see a little bit in the back. That's all merch back there.
Okay.
There's a bunch of merch over on my left side as well. Um, and we would ship everything out, so we'd have to buy it ourselves first
Mhm,
and then kind of just hope that people bought it, or do a pre-order, and then by that time you just still don't make anything, which is fine. I'm not
mhm,
in it to make money, but we finally have like a brand new online store that has the whole with this record, and we can test things. We can like make 10 back patches, right? And if they sell, they sell. If they don't, oh well. Like it's not like it just kind of gets recouped later. So now that we have a new merch store system, We'll definitely. Sorry, I'm dying.
It's all
We'll
good.
definitely have. We'll definitely have lots of new merch.
Awesome. Great to hear. Now, for you personally, for your dream tour, you can have anyone on the tour with you. Who would be your selection? Let's say like a five piece for your tour.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a 5 band tour. I like My Chem. My Chem would be sick. Uh, just think that would be so fun to get to watch them every single night.
Mhm.
My Chem. Always thought Baby Metal would be fun too, just because I
Would
love
be
to
that
watch
would be
them.
interesting.
Yep, Baby Metal. Oh my god, I'm trying to think of. I like Ice Nine. I think Ice Nine would be sick. I want a
Mhm.
tour of Ice Nine. I think everybody
Yeah,
wants a tour of Ice Nine though. But
I'm just saying a co-headlining tour would be
oh,
great.
I know. So we'll see. We'll see if they bring us out. So I think maybe they might. I don't know. Who knows? So Spencer
Mhm,
seems to dig us. So I'd love to see them. That would be a sick tour. And then us, I guess we can open. So
mhm. That would be awesome. And um, for the idea for greetings for from Suffocate City, was it always kind of um, like a story throughout the album, or did that just come about when things started to fall into place?
yeah, they kind of just came about. I think a lot of it was we wrote this record so many times. There's so many different
Mm.
there was so many. My alarm just went off for our
Oh.
conversation that we're having right now. Since we started early, which was good. Thank God we
Mhm,
did. So, it's just one of those things that I think we wrote this record like 3 or 4 different times. There's so many
mhm,
songs that aren't on the record that it was super hard to kind of make a fitting puzzle, right? Like all the pieces fit. So adding the story later kind of helped it fit all together, made it feel like a record, feel like it all belonged.
mhm. That's awesome. And again, I'm so happy for you guys for the album. It's number 10 in the charts.
6 right now.
6.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. And I'm excited to see what you guys have coming up in the following year.
Thank you. Thank you.
But before we end things, is there anything coming up that you would like to let people know about? If there's anything we should be excited for?
We have a bunch of shows coming before the end of the year. We've got like what a month and a half of tour dates, which are going to be super
Mhm,
fun. We're doing a really long set on both of the basically because some of the dates are supporting the Who, that Mongolian awesome rock band,
mhm,
and we have a 45-minute set with them, and then we're doing some headlining shows that we're doing, and that's like we get like I think we're doing close to an hour on those. So
oh,
I mean,
wow.
it's not a little bit, maybe a little bit less than an hour. So I mean,
Mhm,
it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to kind of see where we can explore with songs and what we play and what we don't play.
mhm. And for a personal question, how does one get the Lee Jennings hairstyle? What does one have to do?
You have to find a hairstylist that you trust, like me. So my hairstylist, I've been going to her for like 15 years.
Mhm,
So we developed this together. No, I just wanted a really cool like mohawk mullet thing,
mhm.
So I've got the mullet in the
I mean,
back.
it's how I found you guys at Silver Scream Con. I'm like, "Oh, where are they?" And I see the bright green
Yep,
hair. I'm like, "There they are."
yep, that's part of it. So that is part of
Um,
it. So
I mean, it's great hair. I've
thank
said
you,
it
thank
before.
you,
You guys have great hair, all of you.
thank you.
Um, and if what I like to leave with my podcast is if there's anyone struggling out there with depression, identity, anything, what would be a message from you to anyone that is struggling out there?
Just be you. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to do things that maybe, um, you know, I think it's one of those things that I think people are so scared of making mistakes or saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing that they forget that they're human.
Mhm,
Um, or that they are a bad person if they do something wrong, but be you always, and just it will be okay. You know,
Mhm.
as someone that has gone through a lot, I promise it will be okay. You know, it might take a while, but I promise things will get better and your life will be great. I know it will be
Mhm.
because I've been there. I've done it all. I've seen it all. And yeah, everybody's different, but as long as you're true to yourself and you are who you are, life will feel really, really good at the end.
Awesome. Lee, thank you for the chance to interview you.
Yeah, of course.
This is a section I like to do called plug time. So
Yes.
if you want to give out your social media, anything like
Yeah.
that of where
It's
people
just
can find
easy.
you.
It's so easy to find me and the band. You type in the funeral portrait and you'll see if you see the guy with the green hair, you're in the right place.
Thank you again, and be sure to pick up Greetings from Suffocated City from the Funeral Portraits website or at Newberry Comics or any other
Yeah,
stores that you
there's
might
a
go
few
to.
stores. There's a few stores. So we're getting a full list, I think, today of who got new shipments in too.
Mhm.
So I'm super hyped.
Awesome. Be sure to pick up some of their merch. I'll have the link to their shop down below. And yeah, go see these guys. They're fantastic. And Lee, thank you again. It was great talking with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.